thank you for staying with us. Now, it's a fact that change is the only constant thing, whether good or bad. Change has the power of compelling us to search deep within ourselves for alternatives and for better results. For better results. Now, for some experts' perspective, is how can we begin to mitigate the ugly reality of this time? So, our guest today is a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing London, an astute businessman with entrepreneurial experience, an award recipient of the Nelson Mandela Leadership. Our guest is a young, patriotic Nigerian, husband and father. It's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Ekene Ndubude. He's the MD of ZEBULON Homes. Ndubude. Sorry, I apologize.
Ndubude, yeah. Okay.
It's a pleasure to be with you guys this morning, and I'm here just to contribute, to the developing and evolving topic that we all need today in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, and welcome to the family show. Families have tightened their belts for a long time now, and that belt at this point in time seems to be eating so deep into the flesh. Now, how can our focus today, which is investment culture, bring some relief and respite? When you're talking about investment culture, what exactly are we talking about, and how does it help us, like where we are at now?
Okay, so I mentioned something before we went live. Investment is digging your well before you are thirsty. And the term investment culture is something I need to define so that it becomes clearer for people to understand.
Okay.
If you look at the word investment culture, it is a combination of two major words, investment and culture. So what do you mean by investment? Investment is the purchase of an asset to obtain a return on investment or other source or other income from that asset in the nearest future or in the future. So if you look at that definition, it is the purchase of an asset to obtain income or value in the future. So now there is a major word there, asset. And it is necessary I define that word asset, because some people mistake asset and liability, which we need also to understand. Asset is something that has current or future economic value to a person, which is what brings in money. But a liability is something that takes money away from you. Do you understand what I mean? So now the investment culture, and the other word there, culture is the way of life of a people or of a society. And this investment culture is one of the culture that the rich, the super rich and the wealthy take to heart. It is very important to them because they understand that one thing is common between them, the rich and the poor. Two of them save. But the wealthy people or the rich people, they save to invest. But the poor people save, to spend, which is a total two opposite sides. So we should understand this, that it's important to save, yes, I know, but what are you saving for? Are you saving to spend and then nothing comes into you, or are you saving to also to invest into an asset or into an asset that brings income steadily to you? And I told you guys before we went live that investment is digging your well before you are thirsty, which is very important today in the world. And then you can also classify assets in terms of their convertibility, the easiness of their convertibility. Maybe there are current assets and non-current assets. That's the ease it is to convert that particular asset you have bought into cash. And then there is based on their physical existence, there is tangible assets and also non-tangible assets. So this is where the idea of cryptocurrency or bond or shares and then real estate comes into play. And then based on their usability, you are also looking at operating assets and also non-operating assets. So when you sit down and analyze what you are looking at today to invest, is it easy to convert to cash if you need money? And then is it physical, is it tangible? Can you trace where your asset is? And also, is your asset in use all the time? So sometimes what people refer to as assets sometimes is a liability, and then some things that people are looking as a liability sometimes is assets. So they need to understand based on these little definitions I have done.
Okay.
I have made already.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what you just said about some things you consider a liability can be an asset, or something you consider an asset is a liability. So can you give us an example so that we make it very relatable,
practical, yeah,
for people to just say, okay, what are the things that I consider to be an asset? What are the things that is a house an asset? And let's say I'm not even going to housing and all of that, because not every family or every home
can afford
owns a house. So maybe you should give detailed examples of what everyday people consider assets and liabilities.
And please, that word is important. Everyday people.
Yes, regular.
Everyday people. Okay. And now, so let me give you an instance. For a bus driver, that bus is an asset.
Okay.
Because he drives that bus to get people paying for the services.
Okay.
And that he make money to solve other family problems.
Whether he owns it or not.
Is that what?
Whether he owns the bus or not.
Yes, whether he owns the bus or not, because the asset is what brings value to you in the future. So future can be in the next 6 hours. That's the future. Future can also be in the next 10 years. That's also the future. So what brings money to you is an asset. But what takes money from you is a liability. So for instance, for someone who lives on the mainland and works on the island, and he has a car, and he's going to work, and the purpose of buying that vehicle is only to go to work and come back. Now, because of the fuel increment, he is spending more to maintain that vehicle. So at that point in time, that vehicle is a liability. So the same item, but different purpose, except he uses that that vehicle in the evening or maybe weekends to do Uber or all these hailing services. So in the weekend, he uses that to generate funds or to generate money to maintain other of his lifestyle or other his life demands. So these are part of the category. One single category I used to define what asset is and also what liabilities is.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Well, we are about the ordinary person, the everyday person on the street. We're not talking about the super rich guys who are already informed about the advantages of investment, because we're at a place now where we're not so very concerned about the people who are comfortable, if I can use that word. So please, we're talking about investment opportunities, so that Nigerians, can cushion the shock and the difficulties that we're all going through at this point in time. For the everyday man, for my mother in the village, for my young brother who has just probably finished school and is looking for a job, what are the opportunities that are available there when you look at investment? Because it's critical, like you said at the beginning, that investment is digging the well before we get thirsty. We eventually must get thirsty and we'll need to drink this water. So what are the opportunities that are available there for the everyday person to invest?
Okay, to answer this question, the truth is that there are four stratas of people in the world: the super rich, the rich, and then the middle class, and then the poor. Now, the truth is that anybody can start from the last category or the last strata and then move all the way to become super rich. It is replicable. That's one thing about the Nigerian dream, that you can start at the bottom of the strata or the ladder and then grow to become one of the super rich in the community or in the world or in the environment. Now, one thing about investments is delaying gratification. The truth is that, yes, we all need to eat today and stay alive. But someone who is investing is somebody that has hope for tomorrow. Now, the truth is that many of us earn money, but we all squander what we earn today because we don't have hope that tomorrow is coming, or there is a tomorrow that we need to live for, or tomorrow that we're anticipating to have. So if someone who earns and works, work and earn salary at the end of the month and gets everything he earns and then squanders it in the next 1 month, it shows that person does not have a hope for tomorrow. So if you don't have the ability to delay some gratification for yourself, that means you cannot even start saving to invest. So all the things you need to have, all the things you are thinking at that moment is just, what can I eat today and just be all right? What can I eat today and be all right? Whatever tomorrow brings is none of your business. And then that tomorrow eventually comes, and then you have nothing that you have saved or invested for that tomorrow. So for you to start investing, because the truth is that for you to be rich, you don't need to save. Let me say that again. For you to be rich, you don't need to save. For you to be rich, you need to save to invest. So this is what separates the rich and the poor. The poor only save to spend, but the rich save, but also to invest, because he knows that once he invests his money is going to come back to him in triple folds, no longer in arithmetic. So in mathematics, they taught us about arithmetic progression, that you add 1 to 1, it becomes 2. You add 2 to 1 to 2, it becomes 3, and then you are growing like that. And arithmetic, growth. That is what some people are experiencing today. You work for 10 years and then they promote you, and then you have not saved anything for that 10 years, and then you are looking forward to that 10 years to be promoted. But the truth is that as a man grows up in life, his expenses also grows, sometimes more than he does. So today you are a single guy, you started a job of 200,000 naira, 200,000 per month salary, and then in the next 2 years, your family will put you under pressure to now go and get a wife. Now, if your monthly expense was 100,000 before, your monthly expense has doubled, if not tripled. Now, you now have a child in the next 1 year of it, your bills are going up and then is increasing. If you do not have that mindset to save from the first day that you started that job, to save a certain portion of what you earn, to invest, not to spend it, you see that your life will only be at the rat race. You earn, you pay bills. At month end, you are waiting for another salary to come, and then you pay bills, and then it keeps on going in that cycle.
Our time is so fast spent. I know Fumi has a question for you, but I really need you to let us know. This young man who earns 200,000 naira in a month, for example, as a single man, what are the opportunities for him to save? Where can he invest? He saved. Where can he invest his money to get some returns? Very quickly.
Okay. So let me run with that. There are several investment options available, and I will list out those investment options to us.
We're listening.
And it's also necessary that we know all these things so that you know where to put money and why you are putting money in that place. There is stocks or company shares, which I remember I did that while I was in school. I felt I had to use my school fees at a point when it was the shares era to go and buy the shares of an insurance firm. Then that crashed. Now there is also bonds, maybe government bonds and the rest of it, and then there is real estate investment, and then also there is a cryptocurrency, which is many people are doing right now. But as a real estate person, I will focus on real estate. Now there are places you could buy, and then you can start, buying properties with as low as 500,000 or 200,000 naira. I remembered, for instance, I bought a property in 2019, and then that was when there was nothing in Ibejuleki. Actually, I bought a property from a real estate company then, and then my first payment was 200,000 naira. But the property I needed to buy then was about 12 million naira, and then I was given 18 months to pay. I had to structure those payments, and then in 2022, that property that I bought, each of them was going for 3.5 million naira, then a plot. I got 4 plots. Today, as I'm talking to you, each of that property is about 30 million naira.
Okay.
And
we need to go. Yeah, go ahead.
And and then there were challenges I had 2021. I needed money urgently for. I had to sell out one of those properties. Then it was selling for 18 million naira, and then I sold out that property, 1 out of 4, and then that I bought for 3.5 million naira, and then I used it to sort out what I needed to sort out. Okay. So this is what we call land banking. You are buying for the future. Do you understand? And then you secure the property or buy with a trusted real estate firm, and then secure the property so that in the next future, when you become testing, you could go back to those places and then convert those property or the investment you have to cash. and then you move forward in life. So if I did not have that kind of investment that I made in 2019 and I became test in 2021, there was nothing I could convert to cash to be able to sort out that, that obligation of financial obligation.
Okay.
So it's very important that you can start as low as 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira, 500,000 naira, and become diligent over a period of time to be able to secure your future. All this idea of buying the latest gadgets, looking fly and then looking like you are on the top of the world. Meanwhile, there is nothing holding you. In case you fall today, what are you falling back to? If you have a financial crisis today, will you go back to your mother's house after 2 months that you are unable to receive a salary? So that is what investment is. Something you can fall back to. People have financial issues from time to time. It is common in the world. Even the rich also have that issue. Otedola had that issue, I think, in 2018 or between 2015, 2018. It was because of his investments into real estate that made him to bounce back. So it is necessary that this young man who earns salary of 200,000, if he can condition himself to save at least between 100 to 80,000 per month, save for 3 months and go and make initial deposit in a real estate company. And then start paying gradually over a period of 18 months or 12 months, pay out on those properties, secure those properties in his name. And he knows that he owns this property. He can just do a little fence around it, secures it for the nearest future that is coming, that is coming, that we did not know what is going to come with.
No,
a parting question for him.
I really wish I could ask more questions, but my director's ringing in my ear that we've run out of time. Yeah. But thank you so much, Dr. Ekene, because the question I would have wanted to ask, but that would be, a financial planning sitting down with each individual, because how, some people will tell you that now the money they're planning to save and put away, they're using to buy, extra things. Cost of living has gone up, inflation has risen, fuel price hike, but we don't have time for that. But thank you so much. You have said a lot of instructive things that no matter how small it is, we should begin to just put money away. Not to just put in the bank and save it, but to invest it into stocks, real estate, and all. So thank you so much. We look forward to having you again soon, so that we can have a fully extended conversation.
And I would like to ask, how long are you away for, and when are you back in Nigeria, so you can sit here and look?
I'm back in the next 10 days. I just went to rest and then re-strategize for the new economy that is already here.
Very necessary.
That's fantastic.
All right, so please, when you do come back, let us know so we can re-invite you.
I will.
Have a bigger package.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Not a problem. It's a pleasure.
All right then. Bye for now. Okay, Fumi, we're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on to our fitness instructor, and right after that, Farah will be sharing her life lessons with us with her guest today. Stay with us.